Hey everybody, Sam Love of the Calumet Wilderness. I'm out here in this wilderness of Munster, Indiana. Why, you ask? Well, stay tuned. So up until maybe 130 years ago, where I'm walking right now would have been a lake. A lot of people don't know we had an enormous freshwater lake here in Lake County, Indiana, besides Lake Michigan, that eventually became known as George Lake, or Lake George. This general area used to be a brick manufacturer, you know, late 19th century, early 20th century, so this is called Clay Hole Lake. I don't know if it's an original remnant of Lake George, or if this was just dug out to get the clay to make the bricks, and then water finding its own level just fills this up or what. But we could say it's a remnant. Yeah, let's say it's a remnant. So that means that historically there have been at least 3 bodies of water in Lake County, Indiana named George. I think the most familiar one is the Mill Pond in Hobart, Lake George, named after George Earl, whose brother was the one that constructed it. The other is Lake George up in Hammond. It's adjacent to Wolf Lake. It's been much reduced, much polluted. We'll visit there pretty soon, no doubt. And then this historic body of water that no longer exists because it's been drained. Well, as always, the land wants to return to its former state. Almost looks like a proper river with that little bend down there. I mean, the thing that jumps out at me is just like how absolutely huge this ditch is. All right, this is not just some little tear in the earth. I mean, this is a whole lot of dirt that they moved. The history I've read said the walls that collapsed on Hart were 10 feet tall. Now I'm thinking these might be over 20, but can still, just doesn't take much of a stroke of the imagination just to realize how significant that mudslide would have been, just how devastating and powerful and crushing. The park I just walked through is called Briar Creek Park, so I'm wondering if in front of us here is what remains of Briar Creek. I'm not really sure. It would kind of make sense, right? We name our features after natural features that we destroyed. Out here in the fancy part of town now. People ask me occasionally, it's like, do you get nervous walking in Gary or places like that? No, not really at all. It's these types of places. People take exception to you being out here if they don't know you, or if they think you don't belong out here, or if you're doing stuff that they think is strange, etc. So, flood the suburbs, baby. So what I think I'm gonna do today is, first thing, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I got a lunch meeting out here in Munster, hence the reason for me being in Munster. And then after that, I wanna walk north a bit to where 3 major ditches, Hart Ditch, Katy Marsh Ditch, and Schoon Ditch meet. You kind of get a sense of just how much land has been drained, how big this historic Lake George was. Let's get something to eat. I can find a path in the woods damn near anywhere. All right, yours truly is loaded up with tacos, plenty of energy, and I got to ride up to my next destination. So I'm on what's called the Fisher Street Trail. It's right next to Schoon Ditch, and I'm heading to, I guess it is a confluence of Katy Marsh Ditch, Hart Ditch, and Schoon Ditch. So it's these 3 waterways that drained this, predominantly drained this huge inland lake that no longer exists. There we go. X marks the spot. So Schoon Ditch is to the left in front there, and to the right is Hart Ditch, formerly Plum Creek, and then Katy Marsh Ditch is just a little bit up there. What a fascinating landscape. You know, slightly rolling hills here, and I'm not sure if this is natural, if this was spoil from the ditch. I imagine it would be. So how big was this old lake? Well, I'm near White Oak Avenue and 45th in Munster right now. So from where I stand, this would have been open water. The western shores of this lake would have been maybe close to Wentworth Avenue in Lansing. It's about 3 miles to the west. And the eastern shore of the wetland, at least, maybe extended all the way to Clark Road in Gary. So Wentworth's about 3 miles west, Clark Road's about 5 miles to the east, so give or take a little with the math, you know, 8, 9, 10 miles wide, this wetland complex. And then stretching north-south from, basically from Ridge Road to US 30. It's a distance of about 4 to 5 miles. It's quite a large lake. The western portion was open water, while the eastern portion was a wetland. Now there is a solution for erosion. Y'all, I gotta walk all the way to the end of that thing there. Ooh, the suburbs. It might have been easier to navigate when it was a lake. Oh, it's so interminable. You get all the way to that stop sign that you probably can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more of these condo buildings to pass by. Almost there. Definitely not the most scenic episode of the Calumet Wilderness here. So I'm here, and my car is behind those taller buildings to the left, so it's been a while since I've been out here, and the street configuration has changed. I am really hoping there's a clear path from here to there. Otherwise, I'm going to be very tired tonight. Well, it doesn't exactly go through, but I'm just sort of making my own trail here. So, private property be damned, just for a little while. I'm going to claim usufruct, making a better use of this empty lot by cutting off some steps for me. Yeah, usufruct. Whew, that was a hike there. Well, once again, thank you for joining me on this adventure, this not very scenic or natural adventure in the Calumet Wilderness. I guess if we had a choice and could do it all over again, what would we choose? Upper middle class suburb or inland freshwater lake? I know a choice I would make. I would subscribe to the Calumet Wilderness. That's what I would do. All right, y'all, you take care. Have a good one. Happy holidays.